Well, it was Jesus himself who said that it was the life of the local church, the life of the community of his people, that was to be a demonstration of the truth of the gospel. So he said, all men will know that you're my disciples by this, that you love one another. So the church is meant to be a loving community living under the rule of God, where people genuinely care for one another, where they live for the Lord Jesus, where they worship him. So it's simply by being a loving Christian community where people are welcome irrespective of their background, their race, their age, their education, and by having a genuinely committed love for one another, the church is then a great advert for the power of the gospel. The church is to be the place where we're to be reconciled, not just with God, but also with one another. So the church is meant to be a community of mutual forgiveness. The church is not a place where we all pretend to be perfect, but where we admit our failings, where we seek reconciliation with one another so that we can enjoy peace. So we need to be lively fellowships of God's people loving one another. And very often, if people who are not Christians come to a church that is like that, they're struck by what they see and what they experience. Many people find a life of love and authenticity in the church that they're desperate for, but they haven't found in secular society. And I've seen many people who've become Christians, and they often tell the same story, that they had a friend who was a Christian, that friend invited them to church, and they saw something in the church that took them by surprise. It wasn't what they expected. It drew them back, and then eventually they heard the gospel message and they became Christians. So the church needs to be the advert, the shop window for the good news of the gospel.